All right, welcome into the Jungle Beat podcast, episode 13. We got a great show. If you guys know this face, you're definitely a Jaguars diehard.
Come on.
We got our boy Jordan Lugo in the house. What's up, Jordan?
Hey, man. Appreciate y'all having me on. Really happy to be at Strings.
Yeah.
Love this place. Used to be here all the time. But, yeah, happy to be here. Happy to talk some Jags football, as always.
Long time coming. I think we're going to do like the
100%.
third episode ever with Jordan. But things got changed around, and we're super happy we finally got you on. So this is great for us.
Yeah, man.
So
Thank
cheers,
you,
boys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Episode
Cheers.
13. Cheers.
Delicious.
Love it.
I will say, I
Love
wish we met under better circumstances.
it. Yeah, 100%. Jesus.
Maybe after like Kansas City or something.
Yeah, that would have been a lit show.
That would have been nice. But maybe this will turn us around.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll get our momentum
I
back.
hope so.
This is
I
the
hope so.
collab Duval needs to get it back going in the right direction, right?
There's
I
a
think
lot
so.
of takes. There's a lot of takes between the three of us in terms of like just controversial and also just like observant, super observant, but also controversial at the same
Absolutely.
time.
So let's start there. So
Sure.
initial thoughts on the game. Flash, what was your initial thought coming away from that Texans fourth quarter historic collapse, biggest collapse in or comeback, I guess. And
we watched it in the watch party.
dude, I thought that was going to be so good going forward. I was like, dude, we're watching the game here every time going forward.
We even had like a bump celebration
Yeah,
on the
it was sick.
Parker Washington. Was that the kickoff return?
Yeah,
I mean, the punt return.
Yeah.
Man, we were lit. It was such a great time. I would love to do that again.
The
at
first
some
three
point.
quarters
Oh,
were
man.
electric.
What? The first 3 quarters was like the best time to like be amongst like other Jaguar fans.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And then the collapse in the fourth, it just made everything sour.
Yeah.
It made everything sour. Leaving with just such fury in my heart. It was crazy,
Bro, I was sitting in the parking lot after the watch party, and it had to been like 4 or 5 guys around me, all just sitting in our cars like this. Like no, not even turning the car on, not even bothering with traffic. We're just like staring. We're like, are you fucking
It's not
kidding
even
me?
the car's not even. We're just sitting in like the depths, and I couldn't sit as long as I wanted to
Yeah.
because I had my homies with me.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
dog, I want to be alone.
I
I don't
couldn't-
want to speak to anyone.
I couldn't trust myself driving after that. So,
Yeah.
Jordan, how'd you feel about it? What was your initial thoughts?
that was like the most stunning thing I've witnessed in a long time on the negative side.
Facts.
Just like that took a minute to rebound from and get ready to do the show afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, I do a post-game show every week. So that was just like,
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm so glad we don't do a post game show.
Yeah.
Because my emotions
man.
were too high. I could not function in that setting. I would have gone off on everybody.
I think they would have got like a real ass like person in that moment, and I don't think that they were gonna be prepared for what they would have got.
I was gonna say too many things that I need to take back.
Yeah. That was crazy, man.
But I think a lot of the things I was gonna say stuck around. So let's go into it a little bit though. We'll start on the positive note, and then we'll end on kind of more of a negative note.
like the Jags.
Yeah, like the Jags. We'll start fast in a positive way, and then we'll steadily go down.
And then this is
fall
like the
cliff.
opposite of the last
I know,
episode
bro.
where we started off fumbling and then ended up winning by 1 point at the end of the podcast.
Yeah. So let's go through game balls.
Sure.
There was some nice plays. You know, some players showed up in this game. Who are we going to give the game ball to? So, Flash, who was your game ball?
I think it's pretty obvious at this point. This guy has been consistent the last maybe two games. Yeah, this game and the last game, we watched him just come alive, and it has to be Parker Washington.
Yeah, I think he's our podcast favorite player by far.
Hold on. Shot wood, carry water, baby.
By the way, I figured out this is, you know who this is actually? Who started this?
Who?
It's Cam Ward, I think.
Oh, no, his is like this.
What's different?
One is this. I think I'm too old for this. I don't know.
I was never
Celebration
cool
watch.
enough to do it, so I got to do it now.
Yeah,
But-
no. Yeah. Chop wood,
I was
carry
like
water.
stunned if I got in the end zone. So,
Jordan, who you getting your game ball to?
I mean, Parker's a great call out, great shout out to him. Just the consistency, like you said, he's played with the last 2 games.
Yep.
Really impressive. And, you know, special teams, wide receiver, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
2 touchdowns.
Yep.
I really don't think that you can go in any other direction.
Yeah.
But if I did want to, you know, talk about somebody else who balled out. I really thought that Jacoby doing what he did
on 3 days. Yep.
Yeah, and it was his birthday.
Yep.
Scored a touchdown, got called back. That gave Parker his opportunity to score the touchdown. But his hands, his route running, being where he needs to be when he's supposed to be there.
Yep.
He looked more in sync than any of our receivers that have been here for 8 weeks.
Outside of Parker.
Outside of Parker.
Sure. Yeah, 3 targets, 3 catches.
Yeah.
It's simple.
You can't ask for much more than that.
You can't ask for much more.
He's a pro, and he's got, as James Gladstone likes to say, his superpower is his hands, but you can't take away his quickness off the line at the top of his route and with the ball in his hands. You didn't get to see all of it on display in the first week, but I think moving forward, you're going to see a lot more of that out of Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, it's a great addition. That was my first. So let's do our stock ups.
Wait, your game ball. You can give your game ball.
I gave it Parker. So. I thought we agreed on that.
Yeah,
all the way around. Parker
Cool.
Washington. And then also, so I do want to shout out Clark Spray Foam, our boys over in Jax Beach. So
Peace.
they're going to be sponsoring us going forward. So the 3 up, 3 down segment is all Clark Spray Foam. So if you guys
shout out
need,
Clark Spray Foam.
I think it's insulation. I don't know. I could be wrong. But go check them out one way or the other. 904-885-9983. Go check
Shout
them out.
Shout them out. Yeah.
So 3 up, 3 down. So it's a segment we do for 3 players that are going up, trending up in the right direction, and then 3 that are going down the wrong direction. We usually do 1 at a time. So let's go Flash. Who's your first stock up?
It has to start with Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, that's mine too.
It just does. Jacoby Myers just shown that he's exactly who we think he is. I mean, don't get me wrong, 3 targets, 3 catches. He did catch the one for the touchdown that got called back, but I mean, his route running was cool. He was winning a lot of his routes even when the ball wasn't coming his way. It was really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I've always been a big Jacoby Myers fan from a distance, so it's good to have him in the building. He's a really good dude. What I've heard over the years, and on top of that, that one play too that Trevor put it on him. He wasn't even looking. He was getting hit.
Yeah, he was getting hit. His head turned,
and he still caught it.
That's
I don't
crazy.
think there's anybody that could have done that other than maybe like Travis Hunter this year.
I mean, Brenton Strange maybe.
Yeah.
That would have just been my own.
Yeah, I feel you. Who's your first stock up? So you did Jacoby's for the game ball.
Yeah, I was actually going to do Brenton Strange.
There we go.
21-day practice window opened up.
Yes, sir.
And
Let's go.
He's back on the practice field. He's fired up. That guy is all ball.
Yeah.
He just loves being a teammate, getting out there and giving everything he has on the field, letting the opponent know about it through the way he plays.
He's gonna kill somebody.
He's
gonna kill somebody.
He's I think our most valuable player because you could tell how big of a difference the offense. Not that the offense was crushing it in the beginning of the season, but on both the passing game and the run game, like you can see there's an obvious difference where we need him going forward. How do you look today? So you mentioned he looked pretty good. You think he's going to play this Sunday?
Well, I don't know. Media. I wasn't at practice today. I was at the Liam Cohen presser, but even you can see like the very opening bit of practice as media. You're not seeing like what he's actually doing. You can kind of see how they're moving around, right? But he said he feels good. They're basically he said that he's trusting in the staff to kind of guide the process. He's not like pushing to go all in. He wants to trust in what the team thinks he should do from a health standpoint, but it seems optimistic. He practiced. That's a good thing.
And that's also like a great team player mindset to have, to listen to the staff, to not try to force anything, to not, put yourself in harm's reach harm's way when you don't have to. I think that he's sat knowing the type of baller he is, knowing the type of gamer he is. He sat for as long as he has, watching what's been happening, and really just stayed patient with it. So I feel like when he comes back, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, man.
I think this week specifically, though, they definitely need him. You know what I mean? I think even if it's in a limited role, I think just having him out there in some sense is just going to kind of motivate the rest of the team, get back a little bit healthier. We've had so many injuries in the last – how many, 4 weeks or whatever. So just having them around is gonna be big. Flash, who's your second stock?
You didn't even give your first one.
What are we talking about? Jacoby. Oh, my fault. I'm all over the place. Travis Etienne.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Travis Etienne,
Yeah.
I think has to get the stock up this week.
Yeah, 100%. Consistency.
Yeah, he just run the ball as harder than I've ever seen him run it.
Yeah.
So the last few weeks, really the whole season, I think he's been running the ball super tough.
Agreed.
He's breaking a lot of tackles. I saw like a stat today, like yards after first contact. Like he's top
he's
5,
top
top 10,
5,
something like that. So it's great to see. So I wanna see us give him the Brock more. I think we gave, and we'll talk about it later too, how much the offense did. But I think he did enough on Sunday. Got in the end zone. So that'd be my first stock up.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I love Etienne's energy this year, and everybody's talking about how it's a contract year, and it is.
It is.
It absolutely is. But
I mean, everybody that's in a contract year
has been balling out.
You can go back to Josh Hines Allen too when he had the 17 and a half.
Right.
It's the same thing. So
to me,
they're obviously motivated.
He's not playing in a way to me that I haven't seen necessarily. I think he's running a little bit more behind his pads.
Agreed.
But like he was so explosive in 2022 and 2023.
I mean, have you seen him in college? When he was in college?
Yeah. And they took the ball out of his hands in 2024.
Yeah.
They did.
They didn't. They stopped believing in him.
Yeah. And I think that just the job that was done in 2024 was abysmal. But ETN, to me, is a game-changing back.
Facts.
And now you're seeing more of the workman-like back where it has to be blue collar sometimes. It's not always going to be 50 yards in a cloud of dust, but like he's getting after. He's doing great. I'm with you.
Those 4 or 5 yard tough runs, he's executing those at a high level. Like he's balling out this
year. Do you think it's a non-negotiable though to re-sign him? Like, do you think it's a must re-sign?
In my opinion, it is.
Player?
In my opinion, I don't think we've seen enough from Tootin to even say that. He's earned that running back 1 job, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I don't think you need to necessarily break the bank to bring him back either. You know,
I don't think so either.
I think he is open to. This is going to be his biggest payday though in his career.
Right.
With running backs, their first, their first contract or their second contract. So we'll see. I think it'll be a modest. Maybe. I mean, do you think they should like franchise tag him or just flat out resign him?
I don't think a franchise tag is necessary. They got to use that on
somebody. Devin Lloyd would be pissed if he got to use on him too.
Yeah, and I'm actually pulling up the yards after contact per attempt. And,
nice.
And he is among starting running backs, top 10.
Yeah,
he's doing a great job.
Nice.
Just there's a lot of moments where he gets space from the offensive line doing their job. But there's a lot of times where he has to make a guy miss in the backfield too. So he's been really impressive. But yeah, I don't think you would break the bank. I think it would probably be in that $12 million range. But I say that every year the free agency cycle is different.
Yeah.
So like 1 year X position could get a lot more than they get the next year. It's just a kind of weird the way things work. But based on the current contracts and contracts signed last year, I would guess it would be in the $12 million range for him. Do I think it's a non-negotiable that he has to be back? I would not say that. I would say I would want him back. But there's a lot of holes on this team to fill.
Facts.
And you do have Bashal Tootin. You do have LeQuint Allen. And you have 11 draft picks. Like there are rookie running backs that make an impact from day 2 and even day 3 every single year.
I was going to say, where did Harvey get drafted? What round?
He was a second-round pick, he's a guy that the Jaguars really liked. I think he went a little bit earlier than they expected, a little earlier than I expected. But there's going to be backs every single year. And look, I'm not trying to take away from ETN at all.
Yeah.
It's just you've got to make the best decisions money-wise, not money-wise, cap-wise.
Yeah, resource-wise.
Because money is basically unlimited for them. It's not about the money. It's about the cap.
Right.
And is spending that $12 million in cap space, which, of course, for 2026 would probably be like half that or less because of the way Shad Khan's willing to write those big signing bonuses.
Right.
Is that the best use of that resource?
Yeah, and you've seen it kind of bite them in the butt with what Balky did with a lot of these other re-signings. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. But I would like to have ETN back for sure.
My take is I want him back, but
it's not.
I can understand if that's not what they do.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
I agree. Stock up, second stock up.
Yeah.
My second stock up is probably Jarian Jones.
Yep.
To see him, didn't he? It's just back-to-back games, right, where he just kind of played really well in the slot.
It's tough. I mean, Brock Bowers, he's on him a little bit. And it's tough, too, between you don't know necessarily every play if they're playing man or zone.
Right.
So you don't know how much of it is on him.
I will give him,
but I think he's played very well the last
this
couple
game
games.
with Houston. You could tell that he was really back in the motion of like doing what he loves to do. He specializes in guarding the slot. You know what I mean? They're trying to move him outside. You can tell he's not really comfortable out there. But in the slot, I think that he's been, especially last game, catching that pick like really early on. That set the tone for that first half. For the first half, but it set the tone and it put everybody in a real like, okay, we're back at it type of momentum and mindset.
Yeah, for sure. I had Jarian as my second stock up as well.
Nice.
The pick was huge to start off the game, kind of set that tone. I thought he was really physical too. Came up in like a tackle for a loss on the screen or like a flat route or something like that. So it's good to see. I mean, he's got a lot of proof too, and he was the odd man out of that on that defensive back room. So it's good to see. He's going to have a pretty tough matchup this week against Ladd McConkey. So I don't know how well he's going to play, but at least for last game, I thought he played pretty well. Jordan, who's your second stock up?
Yeah, I thought he played really well. I love that call out. We'll just keep talking about him for a second. I mean, his energy and effort and physical, like he just brings kind of like Britton Strange.
Yep.
Like the energy he brings to the field, I do think is infectious.
It's the juice,
He's a
man.
Playmaker.
He's got that juice.
And, this is not going to be a popular thought.
Okay.
And I'm not saying
we're getting started early.
The Travis Etienne. Kind of like the Travis Etienne thing, where I'm not saying, but Jordan Lewis, hell of a player. I think he's fantastic. I think he has elevated the Jaguars' defense.
Okay.
I think he's one of the best nickels in the league. How much of a drop off is there from Jordan Lewis to Jarian Jones?
If you ask me in the first half of the first few games that they played, I would say
it was a huge difference.
Huge difference. But I think once teams started figuring out that Jordan Lewis can't really play as well when he's asked to play outside corner as he can in the slot, I think that's a different conversation. Yeah. You saw that against the Rams game. He got bullied. They went 3 tight ends, but that's also so they can get Jordan Lewis on the outside. So we'll see. I don't know.
Could you have used $10 million to sign a pass rusher?
Well, my point in the offseason was go after Javarius Ward. I questioned the Jordan Lewis pick or the signing
because you want an outside
corner.
I
wanted an outside corner because I believed in Jerry and I thought he played well enough
last
year.
I did too.
I don't think anybody thought the Jaguars were going to sign a nickel.
No, I didn't see that.
No. Nobody saw that.
I didn't see that.
No, but I do think it paid off. I mean, he hasn't played the last few games, and he didn't play well his last few games, and then he got injured. Jordan Lewis. But I think overall, it was a good signing, and he showed that he could be a playmaker the first few games.
Yeah, he showed that he could make plays and really flip the game around by himself in a lot of the first 3, right?
Yeah,
the first. He is a really good player.
Yeah,
I think Jarian Jones is a really good player in the nickel.
You're just saying that there's not that much of a drop off in terms of the player that's in that position in that nickel position.
Yeah, like let's say. You went and you got Smoot and Ogba for basically nothing.
Right. Who are shells of themselves
right
now?
If you had a $10 million edge rusher that you signed?
You have 2 top edge rushers, but you're talking about a third edge.
You need a rotation. You absolutely need a rotation. On the defensive line, I will not back down. You need a rotation.
No. I agree with you. I think they thought they did go into the season, though. When
those guys just haven't done it, though.
100%. I think going into the season, though, we had Jamal St. Cyr on for our pregame or preseason show.
Yeah.
And we were like, dude, we got 4. We didn't have an edge 3 last year. Now we have 4.
Now we have 4.
It's like
we were excited about that.
Well, Smoot played good maybe week 1. Ogba really didn't do much the whole season. I think they really need to. To your point, though, I think they need to play Gardeck more on the ball. They're playing him too much off the ball. I think they need to let him mix him in more on the end.
Yeah.
I would take snaps definitely away from Ogba and even from Smoot and put Gardeck there instead.
Agreed.
Yeah, they're using him as a Sam,
and even Devin Lloyd too. They were mixing him up early on, and I know he's been out last few games, but I would love to see Devin Lloyd get more time on the ball as well.
Yeah, it's a fine line you got to play with those types of guys because they're not true edge players.
Sure.
But you want them affecting the game, moving forward, attacking. Gardeck can do that. Lloyd can do that.
Yep.
And again, I think Jordan Lewis has just been a fantastic person in that building.
Mm-hmm.
Great player. Again, it's just about resource management.
I know. We'll talk about James Gladstone a little bit, but that's been a lot of people just. I felt like it was since Travis Hunter went out with his season-ending surgery.
Yeah,
that conversation came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I think it's crazy.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, but let's get through these stock ups though. So
Sure.
who's the other stock up for your second stock up?
Third.
Sorry.
I think my third and final stock up would be the special teams as a whole.
Okay.
I think Logan Cook was putting that thing. I think Cam Little was kicking that thing. And you had Parker Washington returning.
That Ventrell had the punch out on
Ventrell had the
kickoff.
punch out. Oh man, I think that special teams was really the backbone of that game for the Jaguars because offense and defense did nothing.
Yeah,
So,
I think they both offense and defense did enough in the first three quarters. We'll talk about who's more to blame in the fourth, but
that was a team effort in the first three quarters and a team loss in the last quarter.
I was so excited to see because when we were watching it together, I was like, finally, they've been talking about it all year. They're gonna play a complete
complementary football.
Yeah, the full game, not just in spurts, and they were on their way to do it until the very end. The special teams are a great one.
Mm-hmm.
I would say too. Even though he didn't get home, and especially at the end, but I thought Trayvon looked as healthy as he's been.
Yeah, 100%.
Since the injury to his wrist, you know what I mean? So he should have brought Davis Mills to the ground a handful of times.
He did smash him and got it.
Yeah, he got the rough in the passer, which was kind of shaky on whether that was a good call or not.
It was a good call. His helmet.
Do you think the face mask hit him? I didn't.
The face mask hit him. You could say because his head went back just slightly.
You can't hit a quarterback that high in 2025.
Yeah, I was so upset. I was so upset that he actually made the tackle like that. I'm like, dude, you had all the time in the world to get a little bit lower.
Yeah,
just a little bit lower. Aim at the chest, like you know what I mean. And I think that he didn't even. I thought he saw red and hit him. So
yeah, but I did think he played pretty well. I thought he played better
well,
than other players. So I would give Trayvon my third one.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he played well too overall. That penalty is huge. The missed sack is huge. Although, and it's true. Getting the sack versus forcing a throwaway, it's different.
Right.
It's still a good play. It's 100%. Still a winning play on the defensive side of the ball, but it's the difference between making a potentially drive-altering play and just a good play.
For sure.
Right? And the drive-altering play is what helps you win a game. The good play is, helps you win that down, but not necessarily that drive.
Right.
Necessarily. So I think he played really well, obviously going against backups. No Titus Howard in this game.
Mm-hmm.
No
I think they had a guard
Ed Ingram
out too. Yeah.
Right side of that offensive line was beat up, but I don't know that losing Ed Ingram is really that much of a
difference. Yeah.
But Titus Howard is a good player.
Yeah.
And he wasn't out there, but he wasn't going against scrubs either. So
for sure. Jordan, do you have like a third one that we haven't mentioned, or is that
stock up wise?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's we talked about Brenton. I'll go with one that's kind of speculative.
Okay.
Nice.
How about Brian Thomas Jr.?
Not being in the game?
No. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to have an opportunity to be a featured receiver in this offense once again.
Yep.
I think he's going to be back.
Okay.
If not this week, very soon. Travis Hunter is out for the rest of the season, very unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I think Brian Thomas Jr. in his last game action played well.
Mm-hmm.
He played well against the Raiders.
Yeah, I thought he played a lot tougher, and I felt like his effort wise was being questioned before, and he showed he only caught 3 balls, but
his effort was there.
After the catch stuff. I thought
his effort was there when he didn't have the ball.
Yeah,
that's something that's huge for him.
100%.
So
it's not a bad one.
I think over the next 8 games for him, it is a massive evaluation time for him because the Jaguars know that they have Jacoby Myers, who they can re-sign. They know they have Travis Hunter. They know they have Parker Washington. Brenton Strange. Is Brian Thomas Jr. going to step up and be a big part of this offense moving forward. The next 8 games, I think, are going to tell you that.
I guess my question about that is he expendable if he's not the number one?
I think he's easily the number one. Even we named all those guys. I think nobody has
talent-wise,
upsides or talent.
Travis does.
Travis definitely does.
He's a better. Okay, so
I say BT still has more upside at that position because
I don't think so. I don't think so because this is a cool conversation. I think.
Okay,
because it's kind of like scouting. Like
yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr. Height.
Yep.
He has that obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Speed, he has that obviously.
Yeah.
Quickness, fluidity, all those things. The ability to track the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter, to me,
I would edge him out on those.
Has much better hands.
Yeah.
Ball skills. I think he's just a more complete player. He just doesn't have the same length that Brian Thomas Jr. has. But he makes up for that with his insane explosiveness, being able to jump up, and just kind of his actual feel for the position.
Yeah.
100%. And so I think he does have more upside. I think they both have huge upside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's I guess my overall point is it's like the whole trade BTJ scenario was ridiculous.
It is.
Well, it came from somewhere, obviously.
Yeah.
There was multiple reports about the Jaguars potentially listening to calls. And where's that coming from? Who does that benefit? Is it coming from Brian Thomas Jr.'s team? Is it coming from someone within the building that would like to see that maybe happen? I don't know.
Well, here's the good news. Once that rumor was out, I kept retweeting every fan base saying, "Oh, let's go get BTJ. Let's go get like Bills were trying to get him, Steelers were trying to get him, like all these teams." I'm like, okay, so it's not just like he's a bad player. Like everybody around the league sees the talent that BTJ has.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's an obvious reason we should not move off of him.
Well, I also think everybody doesn't watch every single snap. Like everybody thinks about what happened last year,
right?
1,200 yards, whatever, 12 touchdowns. I think something
it's
like
expectations
that.
of what he should be.
You know. I don't know that everyone has seen all of the low lights this year.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think he has an opportunity here to be a, stock up type of player.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think the second, the last games remaining in the season, I think he should have a really big year. Still. Let's go stock down though, because I think this is the easier one. Some weeks it's easier to do one or the other.
Pick.
Yeah.
So Flash, stock down. Who's your biggest stock down?
You know what's so crazy? I know we've missed on it twice, but I think if I count to 3 and we say a name at the same time,
I think this week is a final.
All right, here we go. All right, you can join in on this too if you want to.
I don't know.
All right, who's the first biggest stock down? Ready?
All right. 1, 2, 3. Walker Little. Okay, cool. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, So I was talking.
No question.
I talked about Walker Little in I think week 3 or whatever when we played Cincinnati.
Yep.
And I told you, I said, listen, Walker Little is the biggest liability on this team.
You did.
And a lot of people judge that. We're like, he just played Trey Hendrickson. He's like one of the best pass rushers in the league. I said, but he wasn't competitive. He wasn't close. He wasn't like. And when you need him the most, like the Trevor pick when he was trying to go to Travis Hunter, that was on Walker Little. That wasn't on Trevor. By the way, this is gonna be a common theme. By the way, I'm a Trevor truther, but like there's a reason behind a lot of these things.
There is.
But yeah, Walker Little had an awful game. Daniil Hunter is a great player. He looked like the defensive player of the year against Walker Little.
He hadn't done anything like 3 weeks in a row, and maybe that's
probably why. Maybe
ammunition,
sure.
But
yeah, I mean. Walker Little has been a kind of like the best thing you could say about Walker Little over the last couple of years is he's just been consistent. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody was like, he's a C+ player. He's a bridge guy. He's going to be, he's fine in that role. But the issue with bridge guys, if they don't have the talent and then their performance dips, they're some of the worst in the league. You know what I mean? So I think Walker Little was the obvious one. All the big plays that came in that game,
off of his side.
Especially in the last 3 possessions, we can go through it later. But, Daniil Hunter is tackle for a loss, multiple sacks. So yeah, I think Walker Little was an obvious one. Who's your biggest?
Oh, there's no question. Y'all are right. No, sorry I didn't join.
No, you're good. I thought we
missed on it the last few weeks trying to do it.
There is no question about it.
Yeah,
Walker Little has been the worst left tackle in football this year. Worst starting left tackle. Now,
I don't know. I've been watching a lot of Chargers games lately.
Now,
their left tackle is awful.
Their starting left tackle is on injured reserve.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying,
okay, I see.
Who came into the season as a starter?
That's fair.
Austin Deculus has been atrocious, and that's who the Jaguars are playing. Josh Hines Allen, you better.
Dude, I was watching most of their games the last 48 hours. I was like, dude.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing.
He's almost caught up with Walker Little in terms of pressures allowed.
Yeah.
Not as many games.
That's embarrassing if Walker Little has more.
Walker Little has the most pressures allowed of any offensive lineman in the NFL.
Yeah, that's not great.
By 4.
He has been, I think, better in the run game, but I think he's so bad in the pass game.
Yeah, but then in a big moment, the worst left tackle I've ever seen.
Well, here's the thing too, and
it's a run blocking rep.
Yeah, and I was saying at the trade deadline too. My biggest thing was you need to get rid of Walker Little. For one, the salary, his salary jumps up. I think $10 million next year.
Nobody wants that.
Something like that.
Nobody's
paying. They traded Tyson Campbell.
Tyson Campbell has value.
Yeah, and you've seen it. I mean, he's played well in Cleveland so far too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just staying on Walker Little. So I thought they should have moved him at the trade deadline. I thought Anton.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, I was gonna. Nobody wants him, bro.
I
guess the Chargers could have used him. I mean,
yeah, they traded for Trevor Penning, but.
Yeah, I guess
they probably wouldn't want to take on that contract with having Rashawn Slater, with having Joe.
Yeah, that's fair too.
I don't know who would have took him. Where could he have
All
gone?
right, well, it's bench him though. That's the other route,
right?
You know there. Well,
because you can't put Adoga.
Well,
there.
First, to start the season, I thought Adoga played pretty good.
He did though.
In camp, he was rivaling Macari at right guard. I think he's a better guard.
I think he's played better at guard.
I think he's a better guard than he is a tackle. He filled in for Anton when he went down in San Francisco. I was like, okay,
and he played well.
So I had a little bit more confidence in him. So I thought he might be able to go to right tackle. But I think our prayer right now is Wyatt Milam is secretly a really good tackle in the NFL.
I hope so.
Yeah, and they're not confident right now with his recovery yet.
What happened to him, by the way? I'm so confused. He's been on injury report the whole time. But
he's healthy. Well, I mean, okay.
He
is not on the injury report anymore.
Yeah.
He's practicing. They just don't feel that he's at the point where he is explosive coming off the ball yet.
Okay.
They were seeing that in training camp, and they just don't feel like he's there all the way yet. Liam Cohen said today, you want to see him coming off the ball and it looking pain-free. They're not seeing that yet.
Okay.
So
what was the injury?
I thought it was a knee.
Yeah, I think it was a knee too.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if that was
I never knew what the injury actually was. Actually.
Yeah. But I think that's
I'm just drawing a blank on that right now. I thought it was a knee.
But I think regardless though, I think that's our biggest we need to change up something on the offensive line.
Yeah,
and I'm shocked they didn't try to do it before. And maybe they just don't have the horses at the end of the day. And the same thing can go for the defense. Where are we on stock downs? I think we did Walker Little's number one. Yep. Number two, I had Greg Newsome. And kind of to your point when we were talking about Tyson Campbell wasn't great here.
Yeah.
But he was really physical in the run game in the beginning of the season. Every game he would give up, 30, 40-yard, play.
Yeah.
But I feel like Greg Newsome is consistently giving up that play. Now, he's still fairly new to the team, but last week he definitely got cooked by Nico Collins, and I think everybody would.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Greg Newsome would be my second stock down.
That's cool. Not cool, but I did say cool, but I agree. I think that this last game and even the Raiders game, I let the Brock Bowers touchdown go just because Brock Bowers made a really good play with one hand.
Yeah.
But he gave up some significant yards against Nico,
Yeah.
But my second stock down would be the whole D-line.
Well, I don't think you can say whole.
Well, maybe not.
I think Aaron
let's keep talking about Greg for a second.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think that both Greg Newsome and Buster Brown were not put in the best position to succeed against the Texans.
Okay. Talk about
what makes you say that.
They're playing off coverage in the fourth quarter, the whole fourth quarter, or man coverage. Greg Newsome has the physical ability to play man coverage.
Right.
Buster Brown does not.
No.
They got the defense got cooked. They've been getting cooked all year whenever they go to man coverage, which is unfortunate. But when they're playing 8 yards off the ball and Davis Mills is trying to throw it 3 yards downfield.
Mm-hmm.
How is that a recipe for success?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And I saw what you were saying about the on Twitter too, about like the amount of time he had basically.
So 2.7
yeah,
or something like that?
getting the ball
He was
off.
at 2.1 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and
he had one throw where he held it more than 2.7 seconds, and that was the man coverage touchdown to Dalton Schultz.
And that's where I come in and I'm like, is that camp or is that the cornerbacks? Because I don't know, or what are they asked to do? Or, if they're asked to play off the ball, then that's on camp. Yeah. But
right.
like to some point, he's got to be able to mix it up.
Liam said today, I asked him, like, what's your evaluation of how the pass rush needs to improve? And he did mention, when you get there, you have to finish.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like the Trayvon play, and you've seen Josh, not finish a sack a couple times this year.
Yeah.
But he also said, when you're in zone coverage, you need to be sticky and you need to be more patient.
Mm.
What he meant by patient is to not keep bailing because you don't want to get beat deep, but to be patient in your technique, like not bail out too quickly.
Okay.
But to me, I don't think Liam's going to call out a coach on his staff publicly.
Not publicly. He doesn't seem like
I don't think he's going to do that.
I think camp doesn't have the horses though. That's the other side
I agree.
of the coin.
I agree with that. And I don't think that you can say that about his corners in zone coverage, though.
Right.
I think if you put them closer to the line of scrimmage, Greg Newsome and Buster Brown,
mm-hmm.
that goes a little bit differently.
Okay.
They can't play man consistently. We know that. But I do think they can play zone where they're not so far off.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that was like, late in the game where you're up 19 points, you kind of go into a little bit of a prevent mode.
I mean, you could say the same thing about Liam too, because it's like the prevent mode of the offense.
Right.
Like they're trying to run out the clock. You know what I mean? Too
and
early.
Now I do think for Anthony Campanile, I'm a big fan of his.
Me too. Yeah.
I think that the defensive issues started with personnel problems on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Campbell was not playing well here. Buster Brown was out. You had different guys in and out of the lineup. You had Andrew Wingard not playing very well after a little bit. Eric Murray, I think, is still a pretty good player, but, the neck injury.
And
Antonio Johnson is playing really poorly at safety.
Can't tackle a soul.
And I think they were expecting, maybe I was hoping at least, so when they traded Tyson, I thought they were going to play Travis Hunter more, but they played him less on defense.
Yeah.
So maybe, at least you had that as like an option, though. Now you don't have – it's the same thing on the defensive line after the trade deadline. You don't have an option now.
Right. But it's like, to me, again – Travis would help you if you want to run man coverage. You get Greg Newsome and Travis Hunter out there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're so hamstrung by the safety group right now.
That's why they're worried about getting
And
beat.
then also, like, your linebackers aren't great in coverage. And most teams don't have great coverage linebackers.
Right.
Right. But I think that it started with camp losing trust in some certain things on the defense. And then now it's just kind of snowballed into where you've got a lack of confidence all around a little bit, and you're trying to find answers, and it's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think also you can't go into prevent at the end.
No.
You can't play to not lose.
I mean,
you have to play to win.
Yeah, out of the last like 3 possessions, I do feel like they went into kind of more of like a prevent mode.
Yeah.
But the last drive, they didn't throw the ball really at all. They had that one third down to Dalton Schultz like early in the drive, but
where he
other than that, they just ran the ball on us.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's nothing else you can do about
they
it.
Ran it. They ran it, and they averaged 9 after the Jags went up 29-10.
Yeah.
The Texans averaged 9 yards per carry.
Yep.
Yikes.
Part of that was the Jags defense got gassed.
Yeah, they got fatigued.
So you talk about complementary football. The offense isn't helping the defense.
That's
the defense as well was not helping the offense.
No,
neither side of the ball was helping each other. And on top of that, Logan Cook, who did have a good game, his worst punt was during this stretch where he only kicked 50, it 42 yards from deep inside their own territory. There was no one rushing on that punt.
It's just a bad punt.
It was a bad punt.
We shouldn't have had to rely on that punt to be a
no, but you
thing.
pay Logan Cook as one of the highest paid punters in the game. He's a Pro Bowler.
I'm with you.
He has to deliver. I mean, that guy can kick it 70 yards. He has to give you 55 plus on that.
I feel like we're saying that about a bunch of players right now. I mean, Josh Hines-Allen is included in that too. It's like, yes, the offense was getting 3 and outs, but we're also trying to run the clock out. You know what I mean? We also were, we
just weren't doing a good job.
The offensive line wasn't.
It all goes back to Walker Little.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I hate,
it's true though.
Talking so poorly about this guy, but this game goes back to Walker Little because the Jaguars are not forced into these 3 and outs without the poor play of Walker Little on so many plays.
Exactly.
He's getting blown
run
up
blocking
off the line.
or on in pass blocking. It's the same thing.
The Danielle Hunter, where he got inside of Walker Little and blew up the Travis Etienne run to make it 3rd and 9. That was on the first drive after it was 29-18. And, you're in a good spot and you're like, we're going to run the ball. At worst, it's going to be a net neutral.
Yep.
You lose 4 yards. And then you're asking this offense without a lot of the pieces, offensive line injuries, receiver injuries, tight end injuries, against the best defense in football.
That's my point.
To convert 3rd and 9. And that's the other thing. The Jags defense was going against one of the worst offenses in football. The Jags offense was going against one of the best defenses in football.
Exactly. So let's transition. So this is really the whole crux of the show.
100%.
So there's been so much heated debate right now between Jaguars fan base on Twitter between the offense.
I hate them. I hate us. I really do. I mean, I'm sorry. I just hate it. We get on Twitter when something goes wrong and we act like the world is ending. And we're still at least above 500.
Yeah, but no,
shut up.
But you can hit the panic button now.
No, you can't yet. You can hit the panic button for a certain
I think you
position.
can definitely hit the. As a team, you shouldn't
inside the building. No, but
that's what I'm talking about. Okay, cool.
Like the way they started and the way that they're finishing the last few games, it's been awful. And it's disappointing because they played probably maybe not their best 3 quarters, but one of their best 3 quarters they've played all season.
I think,
and they finished it.
I don't think so.
They finished it. So
especially not the offense nor the defense. I mean, special teams really and the turnovers. Defense played good, but
but here's the thing: you can't say that about the defense and say, oh yeah, the defense gave them a short yardage, a short field, and then when the offense does their job and scores, they're not going to score 7 every time. So, but when they do their job and score, you're like, oh well, he didn't get enough yards. You know what I mean? Trevor Lawrence didn't get enough yards at the end of the day. He only threw for under 200.
I'm not one of those people.
I know, but I'm saying the people that are saying it, though, like that's where I'm saying the offense versus defense debate. It's really let me start this way.
Go ahead.
Let's start with Trevor Lawrence. All right. I want to, since we haven't talked this season, tell me what you thought going into the season, how you felt about Trevor Lawrence, then how you feel now. And then I'll kind of tie it all together with the game.
Yeah, I thought Trevor going into the year was going to be in a spot where, he was throwing 30-plus touchdowns and, all the other things that come with that positive, right? And part of that has been on him, not being as comfortable in a new system probably as you would like. Part of that has been obviously the receiving core dropping the ball, and not even just the drops, but the plays where it's not a drop, but it's like the receiver has to go make that play.
Yeah.
And then part of it is the offensive line has fallen apart in a lot of ways. So you've got all those things, and then sometimes you also have the defense not being able to get off the field.
And when somebody does do their job, when the wide receivers do their job, when the offensive line does do their job, Trevor will throw it 5 yards. The one time where either the line blocks, the wide receivers catch the ball, it'll be a penalty call back, or it will be Trevor will miss the guy by 5 yards.
It's difficult for all 11 on offense right now to execute consistently on the same play.
They've been out of sync since training camp. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
And it's tough too. And this is why I give Trevor a lot of grace, even though I do think he's an average quarterback. I did my rankings a couple weeks ago. Like I have him as the 17th best quarterback in the league right now. So I'm pretty objective when it comes to him, but I do think he has the potential to play some weeks, some play to play, like top 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's so erratic sometimes. And I do think he has improved this season, even though there's been spots where it's like an obvious thing, like him, like his missed layups. That was a big thing. Turnovers, I felt like he did better. Now, obviously, like the Raiders game, and then now against Houston before the half, like that's not, that's kind of like old Trevor. But I felt like he got a little bit. He has has progressed.
As far as like turning the ball over, he has progressed, in my opinion. I think that there's sometimes where he won't make a throw because of what he sees in coverage and things like that. So I think that that's a plus.
Yeah.
But I was listening to Liam Cohen today in the presser. He was saying to Trevor, just let it rip, like actually throw the ball, like let it go.
Yeah, but the issue too is when he does let it go, like that's where a lot of like the bad play, like even you saw against the Texans, like there's a couple plays that should have been picks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like he's already kind of doing that, and then that's what's making him hesitate is because of that.
Let's take the Texans game out of it.
Okay.
Because I have not seen a quarterback play clean football against the Texans all year.
That's fair.
There have been better performances than Trevor's against the Texans, but I have not seen a quarterback play clean football against the Texans defense all year.
100%. I mean, did you expect them to score, the offense to score more than 22 points going into this game?
I didn't.
Absolutely not.
Didn't. No,
I think that all things considered in this game, the offense did fine.
That's what I'm saying.
Now,
they did enough to
trying
win.
to close the game out. Now, Trevor Lawrence at the end of the game, did his thing.
Exactly.
And Chuma Edoga obviously cost the team the game.
I think.
Yeah. But, so let's look at the 4 games before that.
Okay.
He had gotten to a point where he was rushing the ball really well, scoring touchdowns on the ground, throwing touchdown passes, not missing as many open receivers. I thought he was playing pretty good the last 4 games. And I wouldn't expect the second 4 games or, the early middle of the season for him to be at his very best. Or like, I think the back end of 2025, when you have been in this offense for half a year and all training camp and all that stuff, is when you start to expect to see the best of a player. And I think he's still on track to be that.
I don't think he's played bad. Contrary to what a lot of people think, I don't think he played bad in this game. I think he did what he needed to do in this game, and he had short yards. That's why he didn't have a ton of yards in general, too. Like the only bad play that I saw him make last week was the throw to Trammell when he forced it into Stingley, and Stingley made a great pick. He made a great play, kind of like what JC Horn did in week 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought it was like the same sort of thing.
It was the same kind of
thing.
So
he didn't turn the ball over. He didn't fumble it away at the end of the game. There wasn't like awful decisions. He did make plays. He had that 20-yard scramble on the last. He had 30 seconds left in the last part of the game.
Yeah.
He got sacked on the first play.
Yeah.
Walker Little.
Walker Little. There's no timeouts left, so he has 22 seconds. He scrambles for 20 yards, hits Parker Washington for what would be a game-winning field goal range for Cam Little, and gets called back. You can't
and then
blame
on that
anything
final
on him.
play, 7 seconds left, there was nothing to do.
Yeah, and Edoga gave it up to Anderson.
Lawrence held on to the ball for a long time, but it's because
you can't do anything.
There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You have 7 seconds. You don't have a timeout. You have to get the ball in range and out of bounds. And the Texans have all their
against the number 1
backfield.
defense.
You have no timeouts.
They have all their guys on the boundary, blocking your routes from getting to the boundary.
Right.
So it was just there was a no-win situation there.
But I think the crux of the whole debate, the offense versus defense, is did the offense do enough to win the game, and did the defense do enough to win the game? My whole issue is, the offense is going against the number 1 defense in the league with some practice squad players, 3-day-old Jacoby Myers, really regressed offensive line, but even a banged up, you got your best lineman, Ezra Cleveland's out of the game. And then Anton goes out towards the end. And I still thought they did pretty good for what they had.
I guess my question is this, bro. Like, when we're talking about, even if we're having to go back to Walker Little, and if it starts there, the offense won't be able to do anything great in terms of, you know what I'm saying, actually And it goes back to the complementary foot. This is why the debate is so crazy, because if we keep putting the defense out there, they're going to get gassed. So they're not going to be able to make the stop necessary.
Yeah, but here's the issue. Did you look at how many plays are on the defense? Like how many these drives that the defense were on the field?
Mm-hmm.
They've had, it was a 15 play, 18 I think play drive.
Yeah.
Like you can't make a play, you can't make one stop. You were spotted 19 points. You're playing a backup quarterback against one of the worst offensive lines, one of the worst offenses in the league, and their offensive line that sucks. They got 2 starters out. You can't get a stop.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? I think that comes down to the first 2 of the last 3 possessions. Comes down to Josh Allen running into the tackle and then not making anything happen. I think it happens, with that, Gladstone didn't make a trade for a defensive tackle. He had no backup plan for Quinnen Williams. It would have been great if
they were in on Zach Sealer, actually, and that didn't end up happening either.
Yeah, but there's several guys that you knew. I know Gladstone knew going into that trade deadline that the opposite of Eric Armstead was the key to this defense to at least help out everybody. Helps out Josh Allen if you have an extra guy that can rush the passer. Helps out Eric Armstead. Helps out Trayvon, which helps out your secondary.
Yep.
If you don't have that extra player, like there's several guys, Adam Butler, I said before, Malik Collins, like there's so many second and third. You just needed a body that had a specialist where you threw like a 5th or 6th round pick out there. You've been fine. And I maybe wouldn't solve the whole issue, but it would have helped. Now you don't have an answer at all. That's my issue with it.
And I understand what you're saying, but if let's say you throw, let's go with your scenario, and we get that body, we get that person.
At least you tried to do something.
You did. But if Walker Little is still who he is, that 5th or whoever we got is still going to be gassed on the field.
Yeah.
Regardless. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's an endless like cycle, because like one isn't helping the other.
Okay, so you get rid of Walker Little. But here's the issue, and it sucks to be in this position, right now, because we don't have an answer. You know what I mean? And
we don't.
You would like this team to make the playoffs, but I mean, the players they have are the players they have now, so they just need to perform better. I think we have enough talent. I just think in some spots with us being injured, we couldn't afford any of these injuries.
I just think the trenches is where we're losing the fight.
Well,
we're losing our battle, and we're as far as, and with that, it's what we're talking about, but it's also just like if we want things to go right, if we want Trevor to perform better, get him some time to do so.
Yeah, there's a lot of debate. I guess not really a lot of debate, but there were some people that were saying, hey, over like a receiver, we wanted like a defensive lineman in the draft, or maybe an offensive tackle in draft, something like that. I mean, there is something to be said. I think obviously I would rather Travis Hunter at this point, but like there is something
like
to be
names.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you want an offensive tackle.
There wasn't
you want a defensive lineman.
There wasn't
over
anybody.
Travis Hunter.
But I'm saying not this year, but I'm just saying. And I guess they tried to do it in free agency, but I don't know. Help us out, Jordan.
I honestly,
what should we think right now?
When it comes to, did either side of the ball play well enough to win the game? The answer is no.
No, it's a team.
Neither side of the ball played well enough to win the game. They played more than well enough for 3 quarters, and both sides of the ball were horrific in the 4th quarter. And ultimately, a lot of that does go back down to one player not being able to do his job, unfortunately. But that's the truth of the matter. Neither side played well enough at the end of the game, and they completely fell apart. And I think players and coaches are all culpable and liable for that.
100%. Is there any way we can fix it?
When you look at this team, I think if they could figure out how to stop beating themselves, what Liam Cohen says, control the controllables.
Yep.
If you could figure that out, a lot of the mistakes, because football is not a perfect sport.
No.
You are not going to play perfect.
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence is not going to play perfect.
At all.
Josh Hines Allen, Trayvon Walker, your stars, they're not going to play perfect. But can they make enough plays to win games? I think so. Can you get out of your own way?
Yeah, I think the penalties are still a huge issue.
Mostly for me, the offensive line. There's other areas where like penalties get called on the receivers and tight ends and stuff like that. But to me, it's ultimately offensive line pre-snap and offensive line holding. Yeah. And I wanted to ask Liam about this. There wasn't enough time today. Was Chuma Edoga's penalty at the end of the game, did they consider that a controllable? Because in my mind, it is. What happened was he overset, gave up the inside,
and
had to panic to try to get back into position, got his hands up too high, gets called for a penalty. To me, that comes down to your fundamentals.
That was the illegal hands to the face.
Yeah, you can't overset and panic like you're going to get beat around the edge. You have to play fundamentally balanced football as an offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Difficult to do when you're moving all over the line all
And then
year
when you're
long.
playing against Will Anderson or playing against Daniil Hunter or something like that, you know what I mean?
Difficult, but is that a controllable moment? Probably.
Yeah.
I would say so.
I think so too.
Yeah.
What so we obviously had the Travis Hunter news break that it was kind of strange too, because like when it first happened, when he first got injured, everybody's like, at least I did. I was like, oh, he's out for the season. I was like, there's no the way Liam's attitude is, the press conference.
He looked like
doom
and gloom.
I was okay with it at the point. I was like, you know what? I'm crushed, but it'll be okay. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out, or maybe we'll figure it out next season. But then you got these like little like breadcrumbs. Well, he might come back after the 4 game. No,
I think I saw that.
Maybe it would just be 8 games. Well, if they go into the playoffs, it will be close. And then all of a sudden, now it's he needed ending surgery.
I don't know if it was Adam Schefter who
Rappaport.
said it.
I thought it was Rappaport too.
Last week he said the Jaguars do not expect Travis Hunter to be out long term.
Exactly.
He will have to miss at least the next 3 games.
Yeah,
so he'll be
that
back.
was the trade deadline where he was talking that when we just got Jacoby Myers. That's when he had posted that.
So do you think somebody from the Jags fed that to him so that hold on.
Why would they?
I was going to say
somebody said this to me recently, and it kind of makes sense, because if another team knows we're desperate for a wide receiver, if Travis Hunter's not coming back, we're going to overpay for a wide receiver on the market. So that's what maybe the thought process was.
They had to outbid the Steelers for Myers.
Right.
From what I heard,
with that
Myers
Raiders
chose
trade.
though to come here. Is that a
I
real
thought they
report?
both had the same
I heard that.
offer.
Actually, I heard that too. Yeah, I forgot about that. That came out later on.
Yeah.
It was initially like, the Steelers were involved, but the Jaguars got him. And I heard that was the case. I don't think Myers has said, or anyone's like actually confirmed.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
you never know that is kind of our point though. You never know what's true out there and what people are
even
feeding
Ian
these
Rappaport tweeting that, like, you would expect if Rappaport saying something like that,
it would be like
factual.
Yeah.
But
well, that's kind of how they make their money too, because like they're just mouthpieces for the owners or the teams rather. So it's like they'll say whatever they want, and then that way they'll feed them the news ahead of time. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how that works. But yeah, what do you think about Travis Hunter's rookie year? So what do you think about Travis Hunter? How he's played, how they were using him? Obviously, he got injured, but maybe were they playing him too much on both? What's your overall thought of Travis Hunter's rookie year?
Straight up baller, unbelievable player.
Yep.
Made plays, like kind of crazy plays in most of the games. Not a ton because he wasn't always out on the field.
But flash plays.
But so many crazy flashes. And then the last game, having 8 for over 100 and a touchdown. It was garbage time, but still he was out there balling. And he was getting on the field more on offense the 3 games before the injury. He made a big play on defense that game too on a 3rd down against Devontae Adams, and everyone's like, oh, well, it was a bad whatever. He went and made a big play against a big-time player that nobody else was making in that game.
Right.
Devontae Adams cooked the Jaguars.
But he didn't cook Travis.
Yeah.
Right.
When the season started, how did you want them to use him? And then do you think they used him correctly throughout this first season?
Correctly is such a difficult thing to say.
The way you would prefer.
Right, but like to me, like I don't feel like I have the mental, or maybe not mental. I don't think I have the qualification to say what he should be doing on the field. But like,
okay, let me rephrase it. Do you think he should still play both sides of the ball going forward?
That's a hell of a question. Now, I think he can.
Yeah.
I think that he has the ability to do that. I think he can be a very, very good player on both sides of the ball if he plays both sides of the ball. I think he can be an elite player at one position.
Me too.
Either one, wide receiver or corner.
Yeah.
I think it will be difficult mentally and physically to be an elite player consistently and be out there on the field consistently at both positions. I always have leaned towards receiver over corner only because I want him helping my quarterback. And that was before the Jaguars drafted him.
Right.
I always said, he's an amazing corner.
Mm-hmm.
But I want that guy helping my quarterback.
Sure.
And I also think there's going to be matchups. It's easier to avoid negative matchups for a wide receiver than it is for a corner. If he's your number one corner, he's got to go against Jamar Chase, AJ Brown, the like, right? All those dudes.
Yep.
And that is a hard thing to do.
Yep.
If he is your number one receiver and he can play slot, he can play outside, you can create the matchup.
Kind of dictate it. Yeah.
Yes. You can dictate to the defense more than the defense can dictate to you from the cornerback position.
Here's at least how we thought it was going to go, or how we like our preferences to start the season. So I know Flash was on your side. So he was
saying receiver.
He was thinking wide receiver. Yep. I was big on cornerback. And I think the reason I said cornerback is because I've seen the plays that he made in college, and he's more instinctual, I think, on that side of the ball. And I think he had so much to not only learn, but just improve skill-wise in his route running and things like that.
For sure.
I felt like it was a longer ramp-up period and learning process on the offensive side.
No question. Now, he was coached more and was more knowledgeable about defense.
Yeah. So my thought process was, what does he do great right now? He's day one in the NFL. What does he do great? I think it would be play cornerback. And I think what they should have done, this is how, at least next season, I would also, it's the same take that I had in the offseason this year. What I'd like to have them do is start him at cornerback and then slowly bring him along on offense. Now, the better his mental gets, because like on defense, there's not that you have certain checks and things like that, but it's pretty much like it's pretty not easy, but it's easier than learning the wide receiver position, the playbook, and all that. So get him as many snaps as possible on defense, and as his route running improves, as his mental acuity with the playbook gets better, then ramp him up and add more plays so then he could be full-time on both sides, because that's what you ultimately drafted him as. You said you had two players that you're drafting. After the LA game, after the Rams game, I said, yeah, the second overall pick at wide receiver played great. 69 snaps, over 100 yards and a touchdown. The second overall pick that you had at cornerback had 17 snaps.
Yeah.
So that's not why you gave up all that draft capital.
Yeah.
So I think both sides of the ball are still what he should do. But I think by bringing in Jacoby Myers, you saw Parker Washington really pop in the slot this year.
Yep.
So far, you have BTJ that I think we all think he's going to bounce back to on the outside of the X. Brenton Strange. I think it's easier, and you need him more on defense, and you can sprinkle him in
different
as
packages.
You want on offense as it goes. And if it's maybe it's taking snaps away from all of those guys that we talked about ahead of time and me a little bit more balanced, more of like a rotation.
Yeah.
But I don't see him needing to play wide receiver that badly. And I think he's playing out of position too. I know Liam Cohen said he's going to play the slot, play the F, because, you can move him around and do certain things, but like, body type and what he did in college too, I felt like he was more of like a Z.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's more of an outside guy that can play inside, not the other way around. Like he's best when and you saw it. Like
he's vertical. We
kept saying send Travis Hunter down the field. Why are we throwing all these screens? It's great every once in a while as a changeup, but when he's a check down on every single play, it makes no sense. Yep. Then against Kansas City, then against the Rams, like send him down the field. It's like that's what he does best.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll see. I think he's still able to play both sides of the ball, but I would next season like them to kind of do the opposite of what they did last season. I think this time right now will give him enough time to learn the playbook, hopefully. Yeah. And I think by next season, he should really start at corner. He should be your cornerback one.
And, as far as like going forward, because like you said, the start of the season, I was where Jordan was, where we're talking about him being more on the receiver side of, because he's helping Trevor. He's giving Trevor another option, another good set of hands, another explosive player. But as like time has gone on, we've needed him more on defense, in my opinion, than we've needed him on offense.
100%.
I think they've needed him on both sides.
I think they need him on both, but now
sure.
that they have Jacoby, and I think they're going to re-sign Jacoby for like a short-term deal next season.
Probably.
They wouldn't have gave up that capital draft picks to just get him for 98.
And I just think that when we're talking about where he was, he's been needed on both.
He's been needed on both. He's our best. There's a reason we picked him number 2.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we needed him at both positions, but it's how you kind of implement him in.
There's a couple interesting things. So
I don't think one side's the
talking
answer,
about
though. I think it's a mix.
It is
playing F slot instead of outside. I don't know this, no inside source or anything. My thought process, or what I believe Liam Cohen's thought process was, slot is the most difficult receiver position to learn in his offense.
I thought it was the easiest. I thought that's why he put him there.
It's the most difficult.
Okay.
Interesting.
I think they wanted to put him there for him to be able to understand the entire offense, understand everything about it. That's why Jacoby is playing outside right now, because they're onboarding him in 3 days.
Sure.
And they're like, Parker's been here. He's going to be our slot. He knows what he's doing.
That makes sense.
And Jacoby, we're just going to try to get him in the game any way we can. And so we're going to put him outside.
The issue is I heard Liam Cohen say both things, because what you're saying is true. I heard him say that about Jacoby, but I also thought I heard him say the same thing to start the season about Travis Hunter putting him in the slot for that reason.
So maybe he's talking out of both sides of his mouth on that.
Because I do remember him distinctly saying both.
Yeah.
But anyways, I agree.
I think that they put him in the slot for a reason.
Yeah.
I think that they wanted him there. And I have zero problem with him playing in the slot, but I think he can play everywhere.
Well, I think
think he can play everywhere.
What I think what's cool about Liam Cohen's offense is all those guys ahead of time. And I thought, De'Ami Brown would be one of those guys too, but it was a 1-year deal, so no biggie. But I feel like a lot of Liam Cohen's offense is all these wide receivers have to be kind of interchangeable. They can play outside and they can play inside. And I think that's what's nice about him. You have multiple guys in motion. It's kind of like Cooper Kupp or,
Chris Godwin.
Godwin or Puka Nacua. It's like these guys can play inside, they can play outside and have success. And I think if you have multiple types of guys that can do that, like I thought last year too with BTJ, just kind of like a side tangent, I thought Doug did a really good job with BTJ, actually moving him in the slot and doing like these under like these drag routes and stuff like that, and getting the ball quick
in space
and running.
Yeah.
I feel like Liam's trying to use him more like Mike Evans, what I mean, a little bit too much.
You can see that.
I see that. I just think like there hasn't been enough of the easy stuff for him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like when you put him in the slot and run these like these shallow, crossers and stuff with him. Like I felt like Doug did a pretty good job with him. And that's why he got so many yards, towards the end of the season was that
he was getting the
quick
ball
screens.
in space, like while in stride, and he was able to make some people miss and get a field.
And I also feel like he just lost confidence
in himself.
And Liam, I think, feels like he's banging his head against the wall. I don't know how to get this going.
I said this on Twitter. I said over under how many times Liam cries after a game this year, because I was like, there's been so many games where they should have won it. They beat themselves more than the other team beat them. They've been out of sync on offense the whole year. And you could see in Liam's face, he's like, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not going to give you confidence. That's not going to give your team confidence. So it's a really tough part, for fans, for the team, for media, like for everybody. Like you don't want to accept the fact that this is not a good team. You want to say there's some optimism going into the rest of the year. And I do think they have the ability to do it. Are they going to do it? Because we've been asking the same question since week 1. When are they going to turn the page and click? And defense started fast. Now it's the opposite. And I'm not sure. So let's go into the Chargers game though. Sure. So we're trying to turn the page. Let's turn a new leaf. Let's talk about the Chargers a little bit. Chargers, what are they, 7-3 right now? I thought
6-3.
6-3.
Is it week 10?
Yeah. Well, it was just.
Do you think they have?
They might have got to 7. We'll pull it up real quick.
But anyways, they do. They have 3 losses right now.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Herbert, I think, is an underrated MVP season right now with how bad his offensive line is and the numbers he's putting up.
He's still top 5 in passing yards and things like that.
I thought I saw something where he was like top 3 in both for rushing for a quarterback and for throwing.
7-3.
7-3, yeah. So what do we think about the Chargers?
That's a tough out, bro.
I think Justin Herbert's kind of like who you want Trevor Lawrence to be.
I was going to say that, but yeah. 100%.
That's like kind of who you're wishing,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Trevor
he knows
does.
he chooses when to run the ball effectively. He chooses the checkdowns effectively. He hits his layups. That's
what it is.
Yeah, his decision making and his awareness.
Yeah,
like he's kind of exactly who we want Trevor to be in these situations, you know. And he executes and isn't afraid, and his clock isn't sped up just because his offensive line is bad. And even if it is sped up, he's still able to make the right and necessary decisions to get the ball down the field.
It is very interesting to think about this with Herbert and Trevor, because you're right. The offensive line, it's debatable who's worse. I think you could definitely say it's the Chargers.
Yeah.
And Herbert's still playing.
On
paper. But he's still playing. He's still balling. You know what I mean? Now, Quentin Johnson on the outside has been playing really good. He struggled early in his career. He's playing really good this year. Lab McConkey's probably one of the best slot receivers in the league.
Yep.
And then you got, a vet and Keenan Allen.
Yep.
Trevor, his wide receivers let him down most of this year.
Yep.
We talked about the drops throughout his career too. Like his offensive line and his wide receivers have been letting him down his entire career, it feels like. But definitely a lot of it's on him too. So, Jordan, what do you think about the matchup? What do you think about Trevor versus Herbert in general comparison?
I think the Chargers have more of an identity. Jim Harbaugh comes in last year, been there, done that, knows how to culture build, knows how to build a program. He brings in somebody he knows very well to run the offense in Greg Roman. And there was some criticism of that move. That move has been money so far.
So Greg Roman is still there?
Yeah.
He's the one calling this offense?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is ironic, because when you think Greg Roman and you think about Jim Harbaugh, what do you think about on offense? Running the ball 40, 50 times a game.
Yeah.
They've done a great job of evolving that passing game.
They are not doing that this year.
Exactly.
But that running back is pretty good too, though.
Well, Hampton came, so they're on their 4th string running back right now.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Draft nerd Kamani Vidal.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't get his name right. He's pretty good, though.
He's a baller.
Yeah.
He was one of my guys last year.
Coming out of draft?
Such a stud.
Yeah.
Troy.
Yeah.
Troy
Nice.
Product.
Yeah.
Good.
Shout out Alabama.
They've got good backs.
But I feel like, their identity though is if Herbert gets any time, he makes these. He has to be one of the most accurate downfield passers I've seen in the league.
100%.
100%. Super accurate down the field. They're going to make some big plays on Sunday if you give them any time.
Yeah.
Now that we've said this the last 2 weeks, we're playing against a bad offensive line. We should dominate. I'm done saying that.
Done.
You're going to have to prove it to me. But Josh Hines, Allen, Trayvon, all these guys, like, if you don't have big games, they're going to hang 40 on you.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you this right now.
Show up.
They're going to have career days against you.
Again, to me, it goes back to the coverage working with the pass rush.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I think it's all pass rush, honestly. I think even like you were talking about the safeties too. Like I'd like to see Rayon Lane play a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though he's
been doing well in special teams.
I feel like maybe he's, doesn't, I mean, he's a rookie too, but like, I feel like anybody's better than Antonio Johnson right now.
One would think.
So I think at least having him play like the single high, cover 3 or cover 1, deep the safety. I think I would like to see him just play in general. Like, what else do we have to lose?
Yeah.
Try something on the defensive line. I think that's really the biggest issue, because that if you get a pass rush, it helps your corners. It helps the safeties. Murray
if you don't play
and
off,
Dewey.
it helps your pass rush.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different things you can do, but let's go head to head though in this matchup. So we did this before. Let's go one by one. So what I'm going to give you the quarterbacks, the head coach first. Who you guys taking? Jim Harbaugh or Liam Cohen?
I'm taking Jim.
Right now, Jim.
I'm taking Jim. Yeah.
He's just so much more experienced at being a head coach.
Yeah,
so much more, and he's a good head coach.
What do you think about Liam's? As kind of side note, but what do you think about Liam's first year so far?
I'm a huge fan.
I'm a huge fan too.
I think if you give him the right resources and you're able to build around a few guys, like I feel like Liam is the guy. I feel like their whole regime in general is
It's-
correct.
it's
You might not
correct,
have
yeah.
the players right now,
Yeah.
but I don't question Liam. I don't question Tony Baselli. I don't question James Gladstone.
No.
Yeah, I think he can be on the same level as Jim Harbaugh, and I think he could be better than Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
But experience matters, and
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh has a lot of good experience, and he is a weird guy, zany type of guy, but
Yeah.
he connects with people, and Liam connects with people, but
Mhm.
Yeah,
Jim's a good coach.
It's a difference.
100%.
It's a difference.
Herbert or Trevor.
It's Herbert right now for me.
Yeah, it's definitely Herbert.
Yeah.
He's playing at a higher level right now. I think a lot of that has to do with a lot of things around him and also being in the second year in the same system.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's playing at a higher level right now.
Yeah. Running back.
ETN.
I think ETN,
Yeah,
too, and I think
Yeah.
Quint too,
Yeah.
depth wise on
Yeah.
top
Take
of
the
that.
Jags.
Yeah.
Jags. Tight end. Now, let's say Brenton Strange does play.
Jags.
Jags.
Who's their tight end?
So they had a rookie,
Rondé
Gadsden.
Gadsden. I think he's
hurt,
injured.
though.
That's right.
He's hurt,
okay.
though.
Got you.
He played kind of well in spots, but yeah, I'd take Brenton Strange.
Yeah, give me Brenton Strange.
Offensive line.
This is.
I'd say Jags. I'd
I
say
would say
Jags.
Jags too, because we have an Anton Harrison at least.
I mean,
Jags.
Anton's not necessarily played super great
I
this
think
year.
he's played
either.
very
He's
well
played
overall.
Pretty well.
I think
overall, in
he's
my
been
opinion.
okay,
Yeah.
but I think he's
mean,
our best, most talented.
I was going to say compared
lineman.
to everybody else's play, especially Walker Little's.
No, see,
I also think an unsung hero this season, and it's it's whatever at this point in the season, but I thought Robert Hainsey was a really big liability
yeah.
coming into the season. I
Yeah.
thought he's been the unsung hero that
Yeah.
whole
That's fair.
team.
I think the three offensive linemen they have that have played well, it's Anton, Hainsey, and Cleveland,
Yep.
and every single one of them has dealt with injury, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And that hurts.
Macari and Little, I thought since maybe Seattle have been awful.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's go.
McCary's been one of the most heavily penalized guys,
Yeah.
and so has Adoga, and he hasn't even played that much.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Let's say wide receiver. Who do you guys going for wide receivers?
all of us fully healthy against all of them fully healthy, I still got them. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you think even with Travis Hunter, BTJ, Parker, and Myers, Ladd, and
Keenan and
Keenan,
Quinn.
oh yeah, Keenan. I forgot.
Yeah, Keenan
too.
and Quinn.
They
Johnston,
are playing
yeah.
better in their
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
I don't
they're
think that
killing
they
it. They're
have more
smoking it.
upside.
No.
That's
That's
Ladd.
debatable too.
I love Ladd. I think Keenan Allen is such a pro.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's crazy that the Bears couldn't figure out how to use him last year. But
Yeah, he's back at home.
they have the advantage at receiver right now.
100%. And I think Quentin Johnson, he was really struggling, if you remember, early in
the
his
season, yeah.
career.
I kicked him off my
last year,
fantasy team.
Yeah. Early in his career, he was struggling and with drops too. And I forgot that, I don't know if he's like, 6'5" or something. I was watching.
He's huge.
I was
Yeah,
watching
he's
him
huge.
play today. I was like, dude, they're throwing quick screens to this
He's got a
guy, and
monster.
he's making multiple guys miss
Yeah.
and go like 15 yards.
Yeah.
So
He's
yeah,
the type of guy that could kill the Jaguars.
100%.
well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, there's no way Greg Newsom's covering this guy.
Yeah.
To me, it's just like the way they scheme him up because, like, you worry about Keenan Allen because he's targeted so much. You worry about Ladd McConkey because he's targeted so much, and then it's like
Deep shot.
this
Quick
guy's
screen.
a freak, and
Yeah.
they just slip him open. And yeah,
Yeah, so I definitely wide receiver. It's Chargers.
Yeah.
Defensive line. Now, who should it be? It should be definitely
I was
be the
gonna be, it
Jaguars.
should be the Jaguars, but I can't. They haven't shown me any reason why it is them. So.
Yeah, the Chargers, I
I'm going
think,
Chargers.
have they have an okay defensive line.
Who's the guy?
Tui
Paula-
Polo too.
Yep, whatever.
You're good at your job.
Yeah.
You're good at your job, bro.
He
That's-
was another one of my draft guys, man.
he's good at his job.
USC, right?
So
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
yeah.
I liked him coming out of the draft too.
I suck at
I
pronouncing
think
names.
him. What sucks before this, I was like, I kept saying his name,
Just
his
call him
last name,
Tui.
Tui.
Yeah.
But I kept saying his last name to myself, and then as soon as we went to go say it, I completely
Tuli.
forgot.
It's Tuli. I
Tuli.
messed it up actually. It's Tuli. There you go.
But
Cool. He's not on my
but yeah,
team. I don't
he's had a pretty good season. They still have like an older Khalil Mack who's okay.
Yeah.
I think he's him and actually Derwin James. We'll get to him in a minute. I think both of them are kind of past
Yikes.
their prime, and
Hasn't Khalil been out a little bit?
he has. I think he just came back against
Okay.
the Steelers though.
Okay.
Got you.
What else was I gonna say? And then they have a defensive tackle slash defensive end. That's pretty good too.
Tier Tart's been an unbelievable addition for them.
Yeah,
Nice.
He's been balling.
So yeah, I would still choose them, I guess.
Yeah.
Who should I think it should be? I think Josh Hines Allen should be the best out of any of those guys.
Yeah.
I think Trayvon also has.
Yeah, they also traded for Odafe Owe.
Yeah, from Baltimore,
and he's been playing pretty good. Yeah,
Baltimore. So I'd give it to the Chargers. Let's go linebackers. I think it's easy. Us.
I think it's easy. Us. Yeah.
I agree.
I think it's us.
Foye is great. Devin
Lloyd's great.
Having a great season.
I think our linebacking core is a little bit stronger than theirs.
Yeah. Let's go cornerback. I think it's a kind of a sneaky room for the Chargers. I think they're a little underrated.
Yeah.
They have this guy, Jackson.
They have Cam Hart and Dante Jackson. Cam Hart,
Notre Dame, right?
Scheme fit.
Yeah. I think they've been getting better over the weeks too, though. Like they've been getting better and better over the weeks.
I agree.
Yeah.
Their pass coverage is the best part of their defense by far.
Well, they play a little, and this is where I think the Jags. We'll talk about kind of the keys to the game in a second too. But I think the Jags can take advantage of them a little bit in the run game.
They've got to.
I think they play really soft, and even though Staley's not there anymore, they still kind of play a similar kind of defense where it's off.
That's rude.
I'm just saying they play very soft.
I think Jesse Mentor's going to be a head coach soon.
Well, I think he's a better coach. And I think, but what I'm saying is both of them had played that deep cover four kind of like almost every play, and they make the front. They put so much pressure on your front four to make plays. But I think you should be able to run against them. But the secondary in general, I give it to the Chargers as well.
Agreed. Yeah.
Well, the safety spot. I mean,
I will say this. I've been watching the Chargers games. Derwin James really hasn't been doing much for me. He's been playing that big nickel now.
Elijah Molden's my guy.
Is he? He's
stud.
He's okay.
He's a good player.
Is he what? Is that 2 or 27?
I don't even know his number. I just know he's a baller.
Yeah, I think
he came over from Tennessee last year.
Okay.
Titans traded him, I believe.
Nice.
I don't know why. He's such a good player.
House.
And the Chargers signed him pretty much immediately after that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, okay, yeah, this is a guy.
But I was surprised with Derwin James because I was always super high on him. And I think maybe it's just more age than anything. I think it's similar thing that happened to Jamal Adams where he kind of fell off.
Yeah.
And he's had to try to find his way in this new NFL where it's gotten more like his position is more of a linebacker now than anything.
Yeah.
So they blitz him a ton. Derwin James, they match him up on tight ends and things like that too. So
he's still a guy the Jags would love to have.
I was gonna say
that much.
I was gonna say he's still good. He's still a good player. I just don't think we have to worry about him as much as we used to.
I mean, if Walker Little is playing, we have to worry about everyone.
That's a good point too. That's a good point.
Like,
no
I
question.
mean, this would be a perfect game for Derwin James to have the
Just
spark.
Just send him.
Just send him. It's fine. Like,
and he does blitz a good bit, as you mentioned.
Yeah. So
that's a good point. All right.
Who's the last?
I think that
that was it.
Special teams.
But
Cam Little.
Cam, right?
So let's go to prediction. So let's do an offensive player. Let's end on this. So we'll do an offensive player and a defensive player, and then we'll do a score prediction.
Sure.
So offensive player first. Flash, who you got for the offense?
It has to be Trevor, in my opinion. I would love for this is in a perfect world where Walker Little is blocking his butt off.
Yeah.
It's the duel. Justin Herbert hasn't beat Trevor yet in the NFL, and I would like that streak to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jordan, what do you think?
ETN.
Nice.
I think ETN has to have a big game.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that like he hasn't been playing his butt off.
Sure.
He has. Obviously, the run game, they have to call runs. They have to execute up front a little bit, offensive line-wise, for him to be able to get it going. But I think if you've got to try to control the clock a little bit against them.
It's time possession is the biggest thing.
Yeah. And I think, having Jacoby and Parker, maybe Brenton, maybe Brian, Thomas.
Yep.
That's great. But the Jaguars got to run the ball. They got to keep their defense fresh because you've seen what happens if those boys aren't fresh.
Yeah,
Right.
And it's also, the games that we've lost, we've thrown the ball a ton, right? And I think a lot of people think, I've said this multiple times, but I'll say it again. When people think of, Liam Cohen, think, oh, he's an offensive head coach, right? But they think like all offensive coaches are about throwing the ball. if they make him throw the ball more than 30 times a game, that's not his strength.
No.
So his play calling and how he wants to be, and how many times has he said he wants to be a physical team?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have to be able to run the ball
Agreed.
and chew up clock, keep Herbert on the sideline.
Yep.
Kind of what we did, well, sort of in the Raider game. Our defense still gave up a lot of points, but I was going to say, we doubled the time possession in the Raiders game. So I would like us to do that. I do think it's potential for a shootout, though. I'm not super scared of their defense. I think we might be able to turn on a few things with Trevor, where I think if he runs the ball himself a little bit more, more design runs. Because one of the things I noticed watching the games back for the Chargers is their losses came back from, they lost a lot of like athletic quarterbacks. So Jackson Dart had a really big, I think it was his first start, had a big game on the ground. Jaden Daniels had a big game. So these athletic quarterbacks kind of give them a little bit of fits. And you can run the ball against them. They're 12th, I think, overall, but I think like per yard or
4.9.
Yeah. So they give up I could see ETN really popping off like a 40, 50 yard run in this game. No problem.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
So that'd be offense.
Yeah. I'm with you. I do think it could be I mean, the Jaguars, 3 of their last 5 games have been extremely high scoring. Yeah. And then the one that, a couple that weren't, but one of them that wasn't high scoring, the Jaguars moved the ball a ton and the Rams scored a ton.
Yeah,
so
we did move the ball
kind
pretty
of
well.
Was a shootout feel, even though the Jaguars weren't putting points on the board.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, well, that's also my point. Like, I feel like we have moved the ball pretty good at times this season.
100%.
They moved the ball. I think they outgained the Rams by over 100 yards.
Yeah.
So what about defense, though? We're going to go on defense. I think it's an obvious where it should be, but who do you think it will be?
I'm going to say it should be and will be Josh Hines-Allen.
Okay. We're going to go three games in a row here.
Yep. I'm not completely off the Josh Hines-Allen train quite yet, but
I'm giving a lot of guys till the end of this year.
Fair. But like this game against this type of offensive line, you just got to do something.
You have to.
You got to do something. He has to have a sack. You have to. And if we don't, I'm tired of the pressures. Pressure is fine. People are making plays while you're pressuring them. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
I think it's highly overrated. Now, if it's affecting it where they're turning the ball over or they're missing guys.
It has happened earlier in the season.
Yeah, and think about the first Houston game. Josh was all over the field. He just had a half a sack. You know what I mean?
And when they got pressure against Davis Mills,
even
if they weren't forcing a sack, they were forcing incompletions.
Yeah.
They are effective pressures. Mm-hmm. The problem is you're not getting the quarterback to the ground, and the quarterback's getting rid of the ball too quickly.
Yep.
And that goes back to coverage.
Yep. So that's what I want to see in terms of Josh Hines-Allen just has to step up for me.
Yeah, that's a good one. Just real quick, too, to combat the coverage thing, because I know you mentioned a couple times. I think they're like kind of what you said. They're kind of scared of getting beaten deep. So like if they do play more like press or play zone, but a little bit more aggressive, I think they're not confident the pass rush is going to get home either, though. So now you're just giving up big plays. So it's like
you got to try.
I think
you have to try something else.
I think at the end of
the worst pass defense in the NFL
for the last 2 seasons.
And in my opinion, just look at the last 5 games.
Yeah.
They've been getting torched through the air.
Yeah.
You have to get these guys closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's going to give your pass rush a chance.
I agree with you.
Because when the quarterbacks hold the ball for more than 2.5 seconds, the pass rush affects the game.
We're not seeing many blitzes anymore either.
Well, that's because we're getting burned every time.
He doesn't feel like he can.
We still did it last week. I think Dewey almost got home or somebody that.
I think it's Gardeck.
Yeah. Lloyd was right there on.
Yeah. But when we do set, the issue is we had to manufacture pressure because our front four can't do it. Yeah. That's the issue. Yeah.
I just disagree.
So you think they were blitz? Give me your thought. Why do you
Davis Mills got rid of the ball in 2.1 seconds in the comeback.
Okay.
Your defense cannot generate pressure consistently that fast.
No, I agree with you. At that point, towards the end of the game, they shouldn't have played so much off. But I'm saying the whole season. The last 4 games or 5 games.
To me, they've gotten pressure. They haven't finished.
Yeah.
Finish.
But that's what he's saying though is kind of what I'm alluding to is when they're not Camp's not going to keep blitzing because they're not getting home when they do blitz. And when they do blitz and they're not getting home, they're just giving guys wide open, spots and holes in the secondary.
I'm not asking them to blitz more.
Yeah.
No, I want to just. I mean, and to his point,
I hear what you're saying. I just don't think they'll be able to. I think it's gonna be worse. That's what I'm saying. I think if they play press towards the end of the game,
Buster Brown is a good physical corner outside and zone coverage.
Yeah.
Greg Newsome is a good athletic corner. Give them an opportunity to actually play the position, not play 8 yards off.
I agree with you. I think to start the game that way would be very dangerous against this team. I think if you have a 19-point lead against Davis Mills, 100% mug them. Yeah. But I think this is not the game to do that.
No,
not talking about man coverage, man.
No, I know. Yeah. I know you're talking about his zone. I'm saying I'm just in general playing more like a
if you give those guys free releases, they're going to eat you alive.
Yeah,
facts.
We'll see. Who on defense though? Who has to have a big game for you? Who you
Camp.
Camp.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got to.
Yeah.
And I know the personnel isn't the best.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here saying Buster and Greg are pretty good. They're pretty good. They're not great.
No.
Those guys aren't great. They're decent starting corners. They can play better than they have if they're put into a better position, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the safety position is terrifying. I'm not going to say one of those guys because I'm not expecting that.
Yeah.
Right? I need Camp to call a full game.
Yeah. I think they need to your point though, I do think he needs to try something he hasn't done all year. I think they need to play, for instance, I was saying Rayon Lane needs to play more 6-man defensive backs in the game. I think maybe play one linebacker, put Foye there and then everybody else on the line or something. I would like to see Devin Lloyd have a big game. That's going to be my prediction is Devin Lloyd plays more on the ball or at least blitzes a ton in this game where he's the one actually getting the most pass rush. He's affecting Herbert up the middle, things like that. Yeah. I think Lloyd's got to have a really big game, and I think he's going to have a big game. Whether they win, I'm not sure, but I'd say Devin Lloyd.
Well, we might as well start with score predictions now. You're over here.
So on Monday, I did 37-31 Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I do think we're going to run the ball a little bit more, though. So I still have that shootout kind of vibe, but just not as many points now. I'm going to say Chargers win 34-30.
Yeah. I'm going to go Chargers right now as well. I do think the Jaguars can win this game.
Agreed.
I don't think that there has been a game that they have played outside of, the Rams game. It was just even that game, though, they moved the ball. I think the Jaguars can win any game that they step on the field to play if they don't beat themselves.
Agreed.
I think that the Chargers are a more buttoned-up organization right now, more buttoned-up football team. They're not going to beat themselves as much as the Jaguars do, and I hope I'm wrong about that, but 30-27 Chargers.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. They're, like you said, more they don't beat themselves, more buttoned up. The coaching, I think they're going to be well coached. Yeah. I think that veteran coach presence.
All three levels, head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, they're all really good coaches.
All up and down. And I think that's going to be the Achilles heel. I do think Liam might get out coached in this. And I'm kind of prepared for it. So I got it 27-24.
Yeah.
Chargers.
I will say this, though. It's tough, right? Because I think there's an easy recipe to win this game. And I think you can run the ball on them. Mm-hmm. And I think you should be able to have a better defensive line against this banged up, bad Chargers offensive line. Mm-hmm. You should get home frequently.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is, am I confident in the offensive line to run block consistently? And am I confident in our defensive line to get home? I'm not. Nope. So that's why I'm picking the Chargers. But if they do those two things, they should definitely win this game. It really shouldn't be. I mean, Chargers.
To me, they can do both of those things and still lose this game.
Fair.
Because they beat themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
With mistakes.
Exactly.
Okay. We're talking about penalties and things like that.
Yeah, if they play
don't control
sloppy.
the controllables.
Yeah.
If they play sloppy.
Yeah.
When do they not play sloppy?
They always play sloppy.
We are who they thought they were.
Right?
Oh, sorry.
So that's where
it's tough
I'm
to
at.
see. Yeah. All right. Well, this was a depressing podcast.
Yeah, no, this was horrible.
I think let's hope for a win. Let's get up on Sunday and try to get to the stadium if
Are you going to the game?
I will be watching this game from home.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But all y'all enjoy it.
I will be
I'm gonna
out
hope
there.
for the best.
You guys say what's up if you see me, man. I will be out there.
But Jordan, plug Gen Jag. Where can people find you? All that good stuff.
Yeah, Gen Jag on YouTube is the easiest place to find the content. If you don't do YouTube, you can go check out whatever podcast platform you listen to. Gen Jag, Duval Daily is the show.
Go get a nice t-shirt.
Yeah, you can check out genjag.com. We have a bunch of merch.
Go get a hat.
Duval merch, having a good time. I just try to make stuff that I want, and then,
I feel
other people will want it as well, usually.
It's fire.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo.
Awesome, bud.
Awesome,
I appreciate
man.
it. Thank you so much for coming out.
We're going to have you
Appreciate
sign the
y'all.
board.
Yeah,
man.
we're going to have you sign the board, and we'll get out.
the board.
Yes, sir. I'm going to sign us out real quick, man. Shout out to everybody for watching. Hey, man, Jack's Twitter, relax.
I know it was a depressing podcast, but I think we should have some reason to be optimistic.
Yeah, we're already doing better than last year.
Yeah.
So we have more wins than we had last year. So that's a good thing.
Anyway, you want,
but yeah, no, we're going to sign out, man. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to first time, last time listeners. Peace. Duval.